And welcome in as we break down the New York Jets in our continuing series of breaking down each and every team training camp preview as we're getting into action. Football season is fast approaching. A reminder to like, follow, and subscribe um, right here so that you can get more of our content. College football, NFL, we got it all for you here, breaking it down from a coaching and scouting perspective. And check out LandryFootball.com for all the latest there as well. Well, I'm wondering about the depth on the defensive line for the Jets. When the Jets defense was at its best under Robert Saleh, the defensive line dominated up front. They had a deep rotation of pass rushers, both from the edge and in the interior. They simply lacked that in 24. And an argument could be made that the depth actually got worse this offseason, at least on paper. At defensive end, Will McDonald, with 10.5 sacks, is coming off a breakout season, but still has a lot to prove as a run stopper. Jermaine Johnson is coming off an Achilles injury, likely won't be ready for the start of training camp, and it's unclear yet if he'll be the same player coming off the injury. The top backups are Michael Clemens, who was out of his element as a full-time player last year. Rashad Weaver, 0 sacks in 22. Fifth-round pick Tyler Barron, both Eric Watts and Braden McGregor, who combined for 0 sacks and 364 snaps last year. Defensive tackle, the options next to Quinnen Williams won't exactly scare you with Byron Coward and Jay Tufele and Leonard Taylor III, Fadarius Mathis, some undrafted rookies. What used to be a strength, not so much anymore. I do think a strength last year was a young, impressive offensive line to build around. They had the 8th highest graded offensive line in the NFL the past season, over 76%. That's especially exciting when considering how young the front five is. They returned 4 out of 5 starters from last year. All 4 will be 28 years or older, or younger, in the 25 season. And the one weakness in the offensive line, right tackle, was addressed when they selected Missouri Amon Membo with the 7th pick. So I think the 1 weak area help is on the way. The biggest weakness for the defense, and I've kind of alluded to it earlier, but with the defensive line, but the overall defense fell off a cliff. In 23, the Jets clawed their way to a 7-10 record with the league's lowest graded offense and the highest graded defense. The following season, defensive grade had a free fall, ranked just unbelievable. Aaron Glenn is going to be focused on getting the Jets defensive back to its elite ways. X factor, I think it's got to be Justin Fields. They finally move on from Aaron Rodgers' experiment, replaced him with Justin Fields on a 2-year, $40 million contract. Fields has never been a top 20 quarterback in any of his 4 seasons. Still just 26. Be reuniting with Garrett Wilson for whatever that means, but he threw balls together at Ohio State. Underwhelming receiving core outside of Wilson. I'm curious to see how much they run with him, what they're able to do with him there. Rookie to watch, Mason Taylor. They don't have a legitimate pass catcher outside of Garrett Wilson. They'll be hoping that Mason Taylor, Jason's son, can kind of help that area. Athletic, strong hands, and just doesn't drop many balls. So be interesting to see how much better this defense can be. Look, the Jets are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Got question marks on defense that we've just talked about, question marks at quarterback, question mark at playmakers. Jets are going to be in the mix for a very high pick in next year's draft. A reminder again to like, follow, subscribe right here to get more content. Also a reminder to check out LandryFootball.com for all the latest.